Hello YouTube, how are you? I don't know if you're gonna watch this, but I'm gonna try to make a video anyway. A few disclaimers out the way. I am not good at making these kind of videos. Talking one-on-one just to my camera is really weird for me. I'm not good at talking just when I'm streaming either. Um, I am Danish, so my English is not perfect. I will most likely make some hiccups in the language if I don't know the what is it called, the words, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. Um, Now everything I'm gonna say is gonna be personal preference and my experience with the game. People are gonna object to it, and people are not gonna be on the same page with me on this. But this is my personal opinion on the matter. If you have a different opinion, that's completely fine. You're more than entitled to having your own opinion. Now, what I want to talk about is a crew skill that went into the game with with the new update called 1.26. So 126 that came out a couple of weeks ago. The crew skill I want to talk about is a crew skill called Perfect Charge. And if you don't know what Perfect Charge is, it's basically a whole new crew skill that went into the game with this update. And what it does, it gives you an increase in shell velocity, a percentage increase on your shell velocity. Fully trained, it gives you 12.7% on your shell velocity. Like if you want to translate that on the SU, for example, the Russian Great Premium, it gives 131 meters a second better shell velocity on AP and AT. It does not increase the heat shell velocity, as far as I could tell. I don't know if that's a bug. I don't think it's a bug. Most likely not. I think it's something they did intentionally because heat doesn't lose penetration over distance like AP and APCR and I think Hash as well. I'm actually not quite sure. Now, credit where credit is due. I actually think Perfect Charge makes a huge impact on the game, at least for me, right? And I feel like it's actually one of the better crew skills that Wargaming has ever came up with as an idea. It's not completely broken, but it does make a really big impact, especially on tanks that has really bad shell velocity. Let's take the Conway, for example, with the derp gun, the Rhymesel with the derp gun, the Shrek TVP at tier 8. Not great shell velocity on those tanks. However, when you have perfect charge on, for example, the TVP, your shell velocity goes from 900, for example, on the HE to over 1,000. Now, 900 is on the slow side. That's just how it is. The TVP got balanced around the fact that it didn't have very good shell velocity and low alpha damage. But then again, you have really good DPM. The problem here is now that like the TVP was already a monster tank before Perfect Charge got introduced, but now it's even better because you have over 1,000 shell velocity with the Perfect Charge on the HE, right? So you have 0.24 accuracy with the TVP. You get 420 alpha, and you have 1,000 silvers in the HE. That is crazy to think about. Like, it may not sound like much, but it is gonna make a difference when you're leading your target and aiming at people. Um, and I can definitely feel there's a lot of tanks that I actually haven't been playing a lot. Like, I haven't been playing the Scorpion a lot. I haven't been playing the Conway a lot with Derp Gun because the shell velocities were so bad that I didn't like to play them. And this crew skill has completely revolutionized the way these tanks are played. Like, no, it's not gonna make your aiming better. It's just gonna make your leading easier, and it's gonna make it easier to hit people, obviously, because you don't have to lead as much, right? And for me personally, I think Perfect Charge is cruise skill you should have on a lot of tanks, especially if you have tanks with low shell velocity, like the Derp on the Conway. Derp Conway has 850 meters a second without, and it goes like I think it's almost 960 with this cruise skill, and I love it, man. It's such a joy to play the Conway now. I'm having way too much fun with it. Now I'm not the best player. I am not the worst. Definitely not the best. There's a lot of players to name a few, like Bigfoot, Ace. Shout out to those guys. Those guys are crazy good at this game, right? Um, but for me personally, I don't know if Wargaming actually realized how much of an impact this thing has. Because example, the Scorpion, it makes it a brand new tank because you have AP that goes at over 1,000 shell velocity. You have 246 millimeters of pen on the AP. You hit with 490 alpha, and you have a 10-second reload. I mean, it is crazy good, at least for me. I love it. And I've actually been enjoying the game a lot more lately just because of one cruise skill. Now, there's also a lot of different cruise skills that came into effect that you should have in a tank. I'm not going to talk about those. But I feel like Perfect Charge is a must on a lot of tanks because it just completely revolutionizes the way some tanks can be played. And it just makes it a lot more fun to play because you don't have to lead as much and it's easier to hit targets. Like the 114, for example, 114 at tier 10, the Chinese onslaught and ranked tank you can get from the store, has 1250 meters a second on the APCR. With perfect charge, you get almost 1400, if not over 1400. That's close to Leo 1 levels of shell velocity. The difference is you hit for 650 alpha instead of 420. You do a lot more alpha than Leo. It's ridiculously how good this cruise skill is. And I gotta hand it to Wargaming, man. They really nailed it. I am actually in love with this cruise skill. Like, I might be exaggerating it. Some people just like, nah, it's not gonna make a difference, and not something for me, and that's completely fine. For me personally, it's a very, very nice skill, and I'm really, really happy Wargaming actually put it in. I'm just having way too much fun with it. Way too much fun. There's so many things you can do now that you couldn't do before. Um, there's just a lot of tanks that are just a lot more enjoyable with now than they were before. And 12.7% may not sound like much, and it probably ain't much in the grand scheme of things, but you shouldn't underestimate it. I feel like obviously on a Leo is completely useless because you already have really good shell velocity, so you shouldn't take perfect charge on a thing like that. And the Bliskovic, for example. I mean, there's no point, right? There's absolutely no point. I'm not trying to persuade you into playing with this crew skill, but I feel like you should take it into account on a lot of things. That's what I'm trying to say. You should play however you want to play, um, but you should take into account. Maybe try it out, see if it works for you, or if it doesn't, play it on your own. It's completely fine. I mean, probably no one is probably going to watch this. I just wanted to try and make a video on this matter because I really like this. I really, really like this. I've been enjoying the game actually way more, and I've not been molding as I have been before. And I'm just having a blast playing this game. And I've been playing tanks that I haven't been playing before because obviously the shell velocity was bad. It's gonna make a difference. The only downside to this is the fact that FVs, for example, artilleries can also have these cruise skills. So that obviously means that it's easier for artillery to hit you and it's easier for FVs to hit you. You gotta take that into account when you play with this. But overall, I think this cruise skill is really nice. Um, Again, personal opinion. Your opinion may differ. That's completely fine. But for me, it's a great skill, and I'm really happy that Wargaming implemented this new skill. Um, yeah, I don't know if people are gonna watch this. I hope so. Wanted to give my view on it, even though no one probably cares. Um, but yeah, otherwise, I hope I'll see you on the stream. Um, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of talk. It's not something I usually do, but I wanted to do something else. So I'll see you at the next video. Thanks for hearing me out. If you have a different opinion, if you agree with me, let me know. You're more than welcome to add your side or your opinion on it. Anyway, thanks for watching my little rant or talk, discussion, whatever you want to call it, on this. And I hope I see you on the stream at some point. Yeah, Danska is out.